Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. The death toll from the earthquakes that rattled Japan's western coastline rose to 161 on Sunday, January 7th. Aftershocks threatened to bury more homes and block roads crucial for relief shipment. Officials warn that roads, already cracked from the dozens of earthquakes that continue to shake the area, could collapse completely. Along Japan's coastline, power is gradually being restored, but water supplies are still short. Thousands of troops were flying and trucking in water, food, and medicine to the more than 30,000 people who had evacuated the auditoriums, schools, and other facilities. Japan has received messages expressing sympathy and promises of aid and support from President Joe Biden and other allies. Last Friday, the Supreme Court said they will decide whether former President Donald Trump can be kept off of the ballot in Colorado because of his efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss and the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The justices acknowledged the need to reach a decision quickly because of the presidential primaries happening across the country. For the first time, the court will be considering the meaning of a provision of the 14th Amendment. The two-sentence provision in Section 3 of the 14th Amendment states that anyone who swore an oath to uphold the Constitution and then engaged in insurrection against it is no longer eligible for state or federal office. Trump's lawyers have asked the court to overturn the Colorado ruling without even hearing arguments. Arguments will be held in early February. Alaska Airlines will temporarily ground dozens of Boeing 737 MAX jets after a section of one of its new planes ripped away while in mid-air last Friday. The plane, with more than 170 passengers and 6 crew, returned safely after experiencing the incident that flight attendants described as an explosive decompression. Photos and videos that passengers posted on social media showed a gaping hole in the plane. Alaska Airlines chief executive Ben Minasucci said that the airline is working with Boeing and regulators to understand what happened and expects the inspections to be completed in the next few days. The 737 MAX involved in the incident was certified by the FAA in November. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board both said they are investigating. A 17-year-old Chinese student who went missing in Utah last week has been found unharmed inside a tent in remote mountains near Brigham City, Utah. Kai Huang appeared to be the victim of an elaborate cyber kidnapping scheme. According to police, Kai's high school reached out on Thursday to report him missing, saying his family in China received photographic evidence appearing to show that he was being held captive. Kai's host family in Riverdale was unaware that he was missing, and there was no evidence to suggest the teen had been forcefully taken. Police said that the teen was being manipulated and controlled by the perpetrators in the days before he was found, and that he apparently was isolating himself at the direction of the cyber kidnappers. Kai's relatives in China said they received continuous threats and as a result transferred approximately $80,000 in ransom to bank accounts in the country. The Chinese embassy in Washington said the student is now in good condition and cautioned Chinese citizens in the United States, especially students, to, quote, boost safety awareness, take necessary precautions, and stay vigilant against virtual kidnapping and other forms of telecom and online fraud, end quote. The Blue Ridge Beef Pet Food Company has expanded its recall of food for kittens and puppies that was distributed to 16 states due to traces of Salmonella and Listeria. The North Carolina company recalled the following items: 2-pound kitten grind, 2-pound log of kitten mix, and 2-pound log of puppy mix. According to Blue Ridge Beef, no illnesses have been reported in connection to the recalled products to date. The FDA says the products were distributed between November 14th, 2023 and December 20th, 2023, and packaged in clear plastic and sold primarily in retail stores in 16 states, including Massachusetts. Infection from bacteria such as Salmonella and Listeria can affect pets and people. Humans can become infected through handling the contaminated pet products. Consumers who bought the products can contact Blue Ridge Beef at blueridgebeefnc@yahoo.com for a full refund. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break. Welcome back. Police in Braintree are asking for the public's help in identifying a person of interest in several Peeping Tom cases. Most of the cases have occurred since November of last year and are centered in two neighborhoods. Police said the incidents range from early evening to early morning and focus on Alita Road and Angela Road and the surrounding neighborhoods. Braintree police have saturated the area with marked and undercover patrols. In a news release, Braintree police said in a statement, quote, "We asked residents to check their camera footage to see if any persons have been captured on their surveillance systems. The motivation of the person is unknown. In each case, the person is surreptitiously viewing or filming young females in their homes. These cases are usually solved with the assistance of our community. Our neighbors will be our best source of information to identify this person." End quote. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Braintree Police Detective Division at 781-794-8620. On Friday, January 5th, the inaugural ball to celebrate Braintree's new mayor was held at the Pundian Society in Braintree. The sold-out ball saw a number of familiar faces, including Braintree's first mayor, Joseph Sullivan, Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey, working members of town government, and many more. The event, which started at 7 p.m., included dining, entertainment, music, and remarks from Planning Board Chair Kimberly Crowa and, of course, Mayor Joyce. I got the chance to catch up with a few folks heading into the event, so make sure to tune in for Thursday's show for more. Braintree officials have allocated $300,000 from an economic development earmark for businesses with a physical presence in Braintree. The money comes from Chapter 268 of the Acts of 2022 Coronavirus State Fiscal Recovery Fund. Town officials said businesses who qualify can access grants of up to $5,000 with the hope of empowering businesses in enhancing their infrastructure, streamlining operations, and bolstering their digital capabilities. These projects can include things like storefront enhancements, interior improvements, equipment acquisition, technological upgrades, and marketing. The money was earmarked while Charles Kokoris was still mayor. Kokoris said, quote, "Drawing on my 3 decades of experience as a small business owner, I understand the challenges that small businesses face and their pressing demands for capital and technological upgrades. I recognize the immense value that $5,000 grant can bring to our local entrepreneurs." End quote. The holiday season is officially behind us, meaning plenty of Braintree residents have already taken down their Christmas trees, and more will be looking to do so in the coming days. Town officials say that in Braintree, residents looking to discard their trees can take it to the Plain Street compost site, which accepts them during operating hours. Trees aren't accepted with lights, ornaments, or plastic bags on them, so take the bare tree to the site. The 225 Plain Street compost site is open Wednesday through Sunday from 7:15 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. through the end of January. The Braintree Parks and Rec Department is now selling tickets for a field trip to see the Boston Celtics play the Detroit Pistons at TD Garden. The event on March 18th is available to residents of all ages, and seats will be located in the top shelf bar seating area. The trip will include round-trip transportation to and from the garden, and buses will depart from Town Hall at 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $90, and you can buy them now on the Parks and Rec website at braintreema.myrec.com. The Braintree Public Schools have released applications for kindergarten registration for all Braintree families who have a child eligible to attend kindergarten in September 2024. To qualify, students must be 5 years old by August 31st and must reside in the town of Braintree. The registration portal will open on Family Connection Day, Wednesday, January 3rd, and will run through Friday, January 19th. Any family registering after January 19th will be placed on a wait list as they evaluate the number of families requesting half-day and full-day programming. Notification of placement in the kindergarten program will be made via email to all families by February 29th. Registration for all eligible Braintree kindergarten students can be done online at braintreeschools.org/register. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
It's that time of the year again, flu season. Getting vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 can help keep you, your family, and your community healthy. You can even get both vaccines at the same time. Visit mass.gov/flushot to learn more.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. State police say a 39-year-old man from Weymouth was killed in a rollover crash last Friday afternoon on Route 495 northbound in the area of exit 41 in Franklin. When police arrived, they found the victim had been thrown from his vehicle, which had rolled over multiple times. First responders immediately began attempting life-saving efforts, but the driver eventually was pronounced dead at Milford Hospital. Police said the driver of a second vehicle involved in the collision was not injured. MassDOT said the left and center travel lanes of Route 495 were closed for 2.5 hours until the scene was cleared shortly after 6 p.m. A hearing was held last Friday in the case of Karen Reed, the Massachusetts woman charged in connection with the death of John O'Keefe, a Boston police officer and Braintree resident. Reed is accused of hitting O'Keefe with her vehicle outside of a home in Canton after a night of drinking on January 29, 2022. Reed's lawyers claim law enforcement is conspiring to protect O'Keefe's true killers. Reed's defense attorney argued for access to communications between several people involved in the case, as he called into question the relationship between the families of a lead investigator and witnesses. Attorneys also discussed a protective order proposed by the Commonwealth regarding the analysis of witnesses' DNA and evidence collected from a taillight of the victim's vehicle and the length of time the samples should be retained. Reed has pleaded not guilty and is free on bail. Her trial is scheduled to begin in March. 21 restaurants from Boston's North End are joining together in a lawsuit alleging unequal, unfair, and discriminatory treatment through the city's outdoor dining program. The 163-page federal lawsuit, in which the North End Chamber of Commerce joined with 21 restaurants, asked the court to end the city's ban on outdoor dining in the busy neighborhood. The lawsuit seeks financial compensation, including a refund of fees charged under a previous edition of the program that allowed outdoor dining in the North End if restaurants paid $7,500 to participate. Boston's outdoor dining program was started in 2020 under the administration of then-Mayor Marty Walsh during the COVID-19 pandemic. It allowed the creation of on-street dining areas for restaurants throughout the city. Under the latest version of the city's outdoor dining program, introduced in 2023, on-street outdoor dining in the North End was not permitted. The new lawsuit is at least the second time that some North End restaurateurs have alleged discrimination in the lawsuit against the city. The new year has brought back some old concerns into focus. According to the latest COVID wastewater tracking data from the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority, COVID in the Boston area is at its highest level since last year's holiday season. Doctors warn that this year might be different because people are traveling more and there are more gatherings with friends and family, which means more opportunities for respiratory illnesses and COVID to spread. Health experts admit that this time of year is always tricky, but the addition of the flu and RSV to the list of illnesses just makes many of them share similar symptoms, including fever, chills, muscle aches, and fatigue. A new study found that more and more people are moving out of Massachusetts as the mass exodus from the state continued in 2023. United Van Line's 47th annual National Mover Study found that Massachusetts was among the most moved from states last year. The moving company said that 56.6% of its customers in Massachusetts moved out as opposed to the 43.4% that moved in. The only question is, why are people moving out of the state? Well, the study found that the majority of people who left did so for a job, retirement, lifestyle, or family-based reasons. United Van Landline's Vice President of Corporate Communications, Eileen Cummings, said in a statement, quote, "We are continuing to see the trend that Americans are moving to more affordable, lower density areas across the country, with many heading to southern states," end quote. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Meet James. He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Today in entertainment, we have 3 new movie recommendations for you to watch. First, Night Swim follows former baseball player Ray Waller, who was forced into retirement by a degenerative illness. After moving into a new house with his wife and children, Waller hopes that the backyard swimming pool will be fun for the kids and himself. However, a dark secret from the home's past soon unleashes a malevolent force that drags the family into the depths of inescapable terror. The film stars Wyatt Russell, and you can watch Night Swim now in theaters. Next, Migration follows a family of ducks who decide to leave the safety of a New England pond for an adventurous trip to Jamaica. However, their plans quickly go awry when they get lost in New York City. The experience soon inspires them to expand their horizons, open themselves up to new friends, and accomplish more than they ever thought possible. The film stars Awkwafina, and you can watch Migration now in theaters. Finally, The Color Purple follows Celie, who after being torn apart from her sisters and children, faces many hardships in life, including an abusive husband. With support from a sultry singer named Shug Avery, as well as her stand-her-ground stepdaughter, Celie ultimately finds extraordinary strength in the unbreakable bonds of a new kind of sisterhood. The film stars Fantasia Barrino, and you can watch The Color Purple now in theaters. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.